Hey guys. Okay, so welcome back to the Zombie Chasers. So last episode we read chapter 1. Go check that out. It's called The Zombie Chasers chapter 1. And yeah, so I've been enjoying the story so far. So yeah, so basically what happened in the last episode was, oh, and if you don't want to hear these spoilers, go check out chapter 1. So basically what happened in the last episode of chapter 1 was Zach was walking down the street, he was admiring the Zimmer twins, Miss Mansfield, and Old Man Stratton, and when he got to his house, he was dying for his birthday cake, but Zoe trapped him as a hostage in her bedroom, so he had to be a good hostage for their new show, Hostage Makeover, and if he wasn't, he was going to be kicked to his room, and, well, he was kicked to his room. So, yeah, he was made silly, and he was locked in his room, so let's find out what happens next. Chapter 2. Zach should have been a better hostage. He stared at his reflection in the bedroom window. Zoe had kept her promise. The girls had made him look quite silly indeed. Now Zach was a prisoner in his own home. Madison had smeared his mouth with bright red-orange lipstick, while Samantha had caked his eyelids with silvery blue powder. Ryan soaked his hair from behind with gobs of Mega Hold Super Gel, styling 7 spikes around his head like the Statue of Liberty. He looked like a deranged circus clown. Zoe has to pay for this, he thought, but before he could get any sort of revenge, Zach had to escape his locked bedroom and wash this horror show off his face. And after all he'd been through today, he wanted that cake now more than ever. Zach kneeled in front of the window and stared out over the neighborhood. Without his laptop or his cell phone, both of which Zoe had confiscated before locking him inside. It was the only way he could think of to pass the time. He found some comfort in watching without being seen, observing things from a distance. There was a word for this feeling, but he couldn't come up with it. He just gazed down onto the deserted Friday night street, waiting for something to happen, desperately hoping for anything upon which to spy. But Locust Lane was dead still, and nobody around. Zach wandered across the room to check on his much-neglected ant farm. He couldn't remember the last time he'd actually fed them. Weeks ago? Maybe months? Most of the ants had starved, and the ones still struggling to survive fought vigorously over the shiny black carcasses, ripping off legs from thoraxes. Zach thought about feeding them now, but he couldn't remember where he put their pellets. Oh, probably in the back of the closet. He figured along with everything else. Oh, guys, and O isn't in the story. I just realized where it was. That's why I said O. And then it struck him. He threw open the closet door and crawled past piles of comic books and shoe boxes packed full of old Dragon Ball Z cards, way too embarrassing to play with, but way too good to throw out. A tiny dog bark sounded through the back wall of the closet. It was Twinkles, Madison's new puppy. Twinkles had had an accident on the carpet, and Zoe had banished the little dog to her bedroom, just like Zach was to his. Zach reached deep into the closet, his hand landing on the case of Poland Spring water that his over-prepared mom had stashed back there for reasons unknown. Stuffed between the water and a yellow wiffle ball that was a rolled-up rope ladder, the key element in his dad's emergency fire escape strategy if being held prisoner and left to starve. Wasn't an emergency. Then Zach didn't know what was. So he pried out a few waters from the pack and snagged the rope ladder, crawling backward into the bedroom. Zach dumped a bottle of water over his head and scrubbed the makeup off with the slightly ripe-smelling towel balled up on the floor. Sitting on the bed now, he noticed a cordless phone sticking out from beneath his rumpled Transformers bedspread. He grabbed the phone from under the covers and dialed. 3 long rings, and his best friend answered. Rice residence. Rice speaking. Yo, dude, it's me, Zack said. What's the word, nerd? How's the plague? Zack shuddered, thinking about the pink, crispy scabs caked in dried amber pus all over Rice's body. He'd been out of school all week with chickenpox. Itchy, man, Rice replied. Real itchy. Well, at least Zoe didn't tie you up and give you a makeover. Dude, I saw it on YouTube. You're, like, famous. Your voice sounds kind of whiny on YouTube, though. I know you're not supposed to hate your own family, Zack said, staring out the window, but I have a hard time believing we have the same blood pumping through our veins. Yeah, man, Zoe's ruthless, Rice agreed. Hey, which friends does she have over? Madison Miller, Samantha Donovan, Ryan York. Zack rattled off the hit list. Dude! Rice groaned into the phone. You have no idea how lucky you are. I want your life for just one slumber party. Rice, they'd eat you alive, Zack said. I bet they're playing Twister right now, huh? Rice sighed. I bet they're playing Twister. Rice sighed. I'd give up chocolate to see those girls playing Twister. Dude, that's my sister. Chill, Zack. I was just messing around. I didn't mean Zoe, man. Madison's pretty cute, though. Not that your sis isn't cute. I mean, dude, come on. You know, I'm hanging up now. Zack placed the phone on the desktop, opened the window, and hooked the top of the ladder to the windowsill. As he threw the bundle of tangled rope over the ledge, he heard footsteps on the sidewalk below. The figure came into view, just old man Stratton, out for his nightly stroll. He seemed slower than usual, walking with a miserable limp. The old codger rumbled angrily to himself and disappeared into the shadows between 2 street lamps. Zack began his slow, shaky descent down the ladder, and the phone blared. He reached back through the window, clinging to the ladder with his free hand. Rice, Zack answered. I can't really talk right now. Dude, are you watching this? No, actually, I'm climbing out my window. Don't do that, man. There's zombies, like, all over the place. Hold on. They're saying how to kill them. Sorry, Rice, Zack said. Gotta go. He hung up the phone and placed it flat on the windowsill. He had no time for his friend's stupid jokes. Halfway to the ground, Zack heard something coming from the bushes below, a violent rustling, followed by a loud animal squeal. He held his breath. Silence. There was another noise, similar, but not as loud as the first, as 2 jackrabbits tore out from the bush and darted across the lawn. He exhaled. Just a couple of dumb bunnies. Zack's feet hit the mulch around the front hedges. He left the rope ladder dangling and hurried around the house, each step putting him closer to his last piece of birthday cake. Around the house, I meant to say. Let me read it again. He left the rope ladder dangling and hurried around the house, each step putting him closer to his last piece of birthday cake. The patio door of the kitchen slid open, and Zack let out a deep sigh of relief. He closed the sliding glass panel and flipped the latch to lock it in place. When he turned around, facing into the kitchen, his mouth dropped open in shock. Okay, well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I just was going to read Chapter 2. I was going to decide reading Chapter 3, but I realized how Chapter 3 was pretty long. I'll start doing longer videos on this, although they may take long to upload. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode when we read Chapter 3. Bye.